What's up, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day. We are back here for another Premier League video, and this is Matchday 30. Not too many games, I think there's only 4 games, but let's review Matchday 29 before we go into those Matchday 30 predictions. We did really good with picks this week, a lot better than what we did with MLS. But let's just jump into it. We have Brighton versus Liverpool. My guess was 2-0 Liverpool, and guess what? We nailed that one on the head with goals from Diaz and Salah. Uh, Pretty much early in the game. 19 minutes in, Diaz scored, and then in the 61st minute, Salah puts away a penalty. So, perfect score. That's another one. Moving on, we have Brentford versus Burnley. We guessed a 1-0 win for Brentford at home, and actually they got a 2-0 win. Of course, Ivan Toney. I think I talked about him earlier in the year. I really like him. I can't believe he doesn't have interest from bigger clubs, but I think he also really enjoys Brentford. He's so good. He's very talented in my opinion. So yes, 2-0 Brentford with the win. Also, there was a red card by Burnley by Nathan Collins, but it was in the 92nd minute, so it really didn't have any effect. Next up, we have Man United versus Tottenham. I thought this was going to be a 2-2 draw, but it actually ended up being a 3-2 win for Man United. Ronaldo came up big. I can't believe he got a hat trick. He played very well. The other 2 goals by Tottenham were Kane and then Maguire with an own goal. I don't think Maguire's all that good for Man United. I know that people really like him. You either like him or hate him, I feel like, if you're a Man United fan. But I'm not a big fan of him. I just think that he's not as good as people. I think he's overrated. But Ronaldo's goals came in the 12th, 38th, and 81st minutes. And the assist by Fred in the first one, Sancho in the second, and Alex Tellez. So Man United win 3-2 in that game. So moving on to Sunday, we had Chelsea versus Newcastle United. I predicted a 1-0 win, and we got it. 1-0 win for Chelsea, and it was a goal by Havertz in the 89th minute, so they waited until the very end to score and win the game. Then we have Wolves against Everton. I predicted that this game was going to be a 3-1 victory for the Wolves. However, the Wolves did win, but it was only a 1-0 win, and it was a goal by Connor Cody. I guess that's how you would say it. 1-0. His goal came in the 49th minute for them to win the game over Everton. Moving on was a big accomplishment for the U.S. manager for Leeds United. I predicted that it was going to be a 2-0 victory for them, but it was actually a 2-1 victory, and it was a late goal for Leeds to win the game, because Norwich City tied it up in the 90th, 1-1, and then right afterwards, Leeds come down in the 94th, and they put in a goal to win the game. I bet you that stadium was going crazy after that, because they really needed that win to stay out of the relegation zone. So, 2-1 over Norwich City. And that leads us into Southampton versus Watford. I thought that Southampton was going to win this game 2-1, but it was actually the reverse. Watford wins 2-1. Hernandez gets both goals for Watford early, the 14th and 34th minute. And good old Elanusi, Celtic player, used to be, gets a goal for Southampton, but after that, seems like it was a pretty boring game. We got a couple yellow cards. Didn't get to see any highlights or anything of this game, but 2-1 Watford, so we did not get that one right. So moving on, we've got West Ham against Aston Villa. We thought that this game was going to be a 1-1 draw, but it ended up being West Ham with a 2-1 win at home over Aston Villa. Yarmolenko and Fornals with goals for West Ham, and then Ramsey in the 90th minute for Aston Villa to not let West Ham get the clean sheet on them. So moving on, we got Arsenal versus Leicester City. We, I think, went with a 2-0 victory for Arsenal, and we nailed that one right on the head. Partey and Lacazette with the goals for Arsenal. I've always been a fan of Lacazette. I really like him. I think he's a pretty good striker up there, but I mean, this year they're actually a pretty good team. I mean, Arsenal's sitting 4th in the table, so I just don't think Arsenal gets talked about enough. Maybe I just don't hear them enough. I feel like it's like the first 3 teams, and then you hear about Man United, and I feel like that's who you hear the most about in the Premier League. So Arsenal is sitting at a quiet 4th place, and kind of like it. Even though I like Leicester City, you know, I like seeing teams that haven't finished upper table in a while to finish up there. So moving on to the last game of the weekend, which was a huge surprise. This game happened on Monday. It was Crystal Palace versus Man City. I picked Man City to win this game 3-1. It actually ended up being a 0-0 draw. I can't believe Crystal Palace held them to a clean sheet. We kind of expected it to possibly happen, Man City to keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace, but very surprising here. Makes the title race a little bit closer here. I'm going to look at the table real quick. I don't have it on the slide over here, but I have it up. So yeah, so Liverpool's sitting at 69 points, and Man City is sitting in first with 70. So we actually have a race for that first spot. So I like that. I like when it's not just a blowout. So these next couple weeks are really going to matter for these two teams. So with that being said, let's move on. We're going to look at our stats here. So I've picked 74 games so far. We have picked 39 of the winners correctly. And this week with, I think it was, 3? Did we get 3 of them? Yeah, we got 3 perfect games this week. So that puts us at 11 on the season so far, which I think I started doing videos in match day 22. So not too bad. I think I'm doing okay for the Premier League. So let's move on to our match day 30 predictions. Only 4 games this week. We've got Wolves versus Leeds. I think with the Wolves are currently on a 2-game win streak. Their last form is 2 wins, 3 losses, whereas Leeds, they did win their last game, but before that they had 4 straight losses. The last time that these two teams played, it was at Leeds, and it ended up being a 1-1 draw. But before that, which this was back in February of 2021, Wolves won 1-0. Currently, Wolves sit at 8th in the table, and Leeds sit 16th. I think that the Wolves are just a better side. Yes, I would like to see the Leeds do better just because it's an American manager. But I don't think that they have it here. I think Wolves win 1-0 at home against Leeds. So that was our Friday game. Here's our Saturday game. We got Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Both teams lost last week, but before that, Arsenal went on a 4-game win streak before that, whereas Aston Villa, their current form is 2 losses, 3 wins. Both teams are doing very good this year, I feel like. Not very good. Let me step back from that. They're doing good this year. Aston Villa is 9th. They could probably be a little bit higher. Arsenal sitting at 4th. I think that was a surprise to some people. Maybe not. That's just my opinion. Both teams played very good teams last week. I mean, Aston Villa played against West Ham, and then, of course, Arsenal played against Liverpool. So that's 2 pretty good teams. Maybe Aston Villa could have made it a little bit closer with West Ham, but they were away at West Ham. But with this game, I think that Arsenal are doing really well, and I think that Arsenal will go into Villa Park and win 2-1 over Aston Villa. So that leads us into our first Sunday game, which there's only two of them. We've got Leicester City versus Brentford. I really like Brentford. Really like Leicester City. That's the thing. I like a lot of teams. I think I've said this multiple times. Current form, Leicester City, they have one loss and then 4 wins. So they went on a 4-game win streak and then lost last weekend against Arsenal. Whereas Brentford's on a 2-game win streak, but then they also have 2 losses and a draw for their current form. They are playing at King Power Stadium. Leicester City sits at 12th in the table. Brentford's at 15. So I think this is going to be a good game. But I think that with Leicester City being at home, I think they win this game 2-0. I think with them being at home is going to make the difference. And that leads us to our fourth and final game, so kind of a short video this week, is Tottenham versus West Ham United. Current form, Tottenham, they have 3 wins and 2 losses. And then with West Ham, it's 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5 games. They are playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and they're 6th and 7th in the table. West Ham's the 6th. Tottenham's the 7th in the table. The last time that these two teams played was back in December in the EFL Cup, and Tottenham won 2-1. I think it's going to be a similar result to that, but it won't be 2-1. It'll be 1-0 Tottenham. So those are my picks for Matchday 30. Please tell me in the comments below what you think will happen with these 4 games, who you think will win. If I got them completely wrong, tell me your thoughts. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to that 100 subscriber mark. No, it's not a lot, but that's just a milestone for me to get started. I think I'm around 81 or 82 right now subscribers. So let's get a push. I would like to get a push to get that 100. And again, I just thank everybody for watching, especially if you made it this far in the video. So until next week, we'll see you then.